Welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg. I'm Schaumburg Village President Al Larson. This is the first of what will be a monthly series on all things Schaumburg. I'll talk with guests here in our studio and around town to bring you the latest news on what's happening in our village. Today, I'll talk with Brian Bieschke from Schaumburg's Environmental Committee. We'll learn about the ways they promote a cleaner environment. Then, Bikeways Committee members Frida Brown and Burt McDonald will be here to discuss the many advantages of being a cyclist in Schaumburg. We'll round out the program with Schaumburg staffers and Green Team members Martha Dooley and Jennifer Maltis. They'll be here to tell us about the work their group does to help make the village greener. All of this and more today on Speaking of Schaumburg. The Schaumburg Environmental Committee serves as an advisory panel to the village board. The committee is charged with the conservation of natural resources and protection of the environment. With me today from that committee is Chairman Brian Bieschke. Brian, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Al.
Just what is the Environmental Committee and what do they do?
Well, the Environmental Committee is a group of individuals that, as you said, we're responsible for preservation of natural resources and really to raise the community's awareness about environmental issues and what they can do to help reduce, reuse, and recycle. It's the 3 R's of environmental
activities. I would imagine.
Yeah.
How did the committee get started?
Committee got started almost 40 years ago as a group of volunteers. Was actually called the Clean Environment Committee, and Mayor Bob Atcher at that time made the committee permanent in, I believe, 1974 as the Schaumburg Environmental Committee.
How many members are on the committee?
There's 9 members on the committee, including the chairman. Plus, we have 2 village liaisons, Martha Dooley and Martin Matreger.
Martin Matreger. I heard of Martha Dooley, but I've not heard of Martin Matreger.
Martin is with Public Works.
Okay, all right. And what kind of activities does the committee promote?
Well, we do a wide variety of things. Near Earth Day, we do an event to celebrate Earth Day. We've done things such as Schaumburg Cleanup. Last year, we partnered with the Schaumburg Elementary School District 54 and did a recycling event where we did electronics and paper recycling along with clothing and American flags and compact fluorescent bulbs.
I imagine it was a pretty popular program.
It was very popular. We had close to 700 vehicles, I think, come through the event that day. We also do a booth at Septemberfest every year where we will be talking about an initiative that we have. In the past, we've done things around water conservation and recycling with the use of rain barrels, and we were able to put together and sell to the community over 250 55-gallon rain barrels. We also do a large event in November every year at the Prairie Center for the Arts. We partner with the Hoffman Estates Environmental Commission, and it's a free informational seminar, all-day seminar for the environment or for the community. We bring in 4 to 5 different speakers on different topics. We have probably 25 to 30 different exhibitors that come in and talk about different ways to help conserve with the environment. And then
they bring birds of prey too, don't they?
We did have birds of prey there a couple of times, about 4 years ago, and then again just this last November we had some birds of prey there.
That has to be pretty popular with the kids.
Yeah, we've had speakers on global warming, on the issues surrounding the Great Lakes. How to conserve the Great Lakes, which is the largest freshwater body, in the world. So we've had some, quite a few different speakers.
Oh, well, that's, what are some of the plans you have for the future?
Well, the next initiative that we're going to be working on is going to be centered around the next initiative that we're going to have is going to be at the Schaumburg Septemberfest, where we'll have a booth. It'll be around environmental and energy reduction. We're going to be working with the Energy Star people, and we're going to have some initiatives for commercial as well as residential.
Is it going to be staffed by members of the committee?
It will be. The booth will be staffed on Saturday and Sunday by members of the committee.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm sure that people will be interested in some of the stuff that you guys are doing. I'm interested in some of the things you're doing. How can people participate more in the work of the Environmental Committee and do something for the environment and conserve energy?
Well, they can see what we're doing on the web. If you go to the Village of Schaumburg website, we do have a page that comes off of there, and it talks about the activities of the committee. So, the activities do change from time to time, and so, they can participate in the recycling events, or they can participate in the environmental fair that we're going to do in November and things like that.
Environmental fair, that's with Hoffman Estates?
That's with Hoffman Estates, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be November 14th.
Typically, how many people come out for that event?
Oh, we've had kind of a low year last year, about 350, and I think peak we had over 500 people come.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Now you mentioned the Earth Day event. I mean, who participates in that?
Well, it depends what the event is. Like I said, last year we did a recycling event, so that was open to the entire community. The year before we did a Schaumburg cleanup, and so we work with different groups in the community, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, things like that, youth groups from churches, or any just private individuals that want to come out and help clean the environment. And we have maps and we send them off to different areas of Schaumburg that need some attention, and we provide them with bags and send them on their way.
And Public Works is involved in that, I would imagine.
Correct. Yeah.
Picking those bags up. Yeah. I know early on when Bob Atcher was mayor, I know he participated in that day. Of course, he rode his horse.
Okay.
Which is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. There's a guy on a horse out there.
Yeah.
No, it's the mayor. I don't have a horse, by the way, Brian. Where can I get more information about your committee and some of the things you do? I mean, you mentioned that it's on the website.
Yep. The best place to get it would be on the Village website. The Village also has a e-newsletter that you can sign up for, and we email a newsletter to you once a month, and we do promote our activities in the e-newsletter. Cracker Barrel is another great way to get some information. We write articles on upcoming events, as well as some recaps on performance of the events and things like that.
You have a pretty diverse membership on your committee, don't you? I mean,
we do.
What kind of background do some of these folks have?
All different background. We've got engineering, person that works for an engineering firm. We've got a chemical salesperson. We've got some retirees, the Mayos that are very active over at Spring Valley Nature Center.
That's Tony and Sandy.
That's Tony and Sandy, right? Yeah. We've got just a big, diverse background of people.
Yeah, I can imagine it. Tony and Sandy have been involved as volunteers at Spring Valley for quite a number of years. Mm-hmm. One of their projects is a bluebird trail. They've been trying to get bluebirds to nest in the sanctuary, and I guess this year they finally struck blue. They've actually had 2 families that were raised.
Did they?
Oh yeah, that's a
well,
nice
that's excellent.
project.
Spring Valley actually took over the rain barrel project that we had started on the committee as well, and so they've continued that program and have continued to provide rain barrels to the community.
Well, the Water Reclamation District has been doing the same thing, but they can't compete with someone like the Environmental Committee or even Spring Valley, and it's a great program, folks. Brian, thanks for being with us. Next up, cycling in Schaumburg and why people should bicycle more.